Good day, everyone. I am Charlotte Maybe Gomez, a second year student from Section B, and today I am going to discuss to you about the Balantidium coli. Balantidium coli is an intestinal parasite that can cause balantidiasis disease. Balantidium coli is found throughout the world, but it is most prevalent in tropical and subtropical regions. So Southeast Asia countries are example for this, where the region experiences hot and rainy season. Balantidium coli is a ciliated protozoan parasite that infects the gastrointestinal tract of mammals, including humans. Its morphology is characterized by several distinctive features. We have the size, a size ranging from 30 to 200 micrometers in length. We have the shape. It typically has an oval shape or pear-shaped body, although its shape can vary depending on its stage in the life cycle. Next is the cilia, are tiny hair-like structures that are used for locomotion or the movement, and for creating currents to bring food particles toward its mouth like opening called the cytostome. Next is the oral groove or the cytostome. Balantidium coli possesses an oral groove or cytostome, which is a specialized structure for feeding. This opening allows the parasite to ingest food particles such as bacteria and debris from the host intestinal contents. Next is the nucleus. It contains a large kidney-shaped macronucleus and one or more small macronuclei. The macronucleus is involved in the regulation of cellular functions, while the macronucleus is involved in sexual reproduction. Next is the cyst stage, are spherical structures that form as a protective mechanism in response to harsh environmental conditions. Next is the cytoskeleton. Like all cells, Balantidium coli has a cytoskeleton made up of microtubules and microfilaments. These structures provide support and help maintain the shape of the cell. These morphological features enable the Balantidium coli to thrive in the intestinal environment of its host. Next is the habitat. Balantidium coli is primarily found in large intestines, specifically the colon of mammals, including humans, and natural habitat of B. coli is in pigs. As an intestinal parasite, its habitat is within the host gastrointestinal tract. Once ingested, Balantidium coli colonizes the mucosal lining of the large intestine. So here is the life cycle of the Balantidium coli. Cysts are the stage responsible for transmission of balantidiasis. First is the host most often acquires the cyst through the ingestion of contaminated food or water. Then following the ingestion, excistation occurs in the small intestine, and the trophozoites colonize the large intestine. When we say excistation, it is the stage in the life cycle of a parasite in which it escapes from a cyst after being swallowed by its host. The next is the trophozoites reside in the lumen of large intestine and appendix of humans and animals, where they replicate by binary fission during which conjugation may occur. So when we say a binary fission, it is a type of asexual reproduction where a parent cell divides, resulting in two identical cells, each having the potential to grow to the size of the original cell. Next is trophozoites undergo incestation to provide infective cysts. Then the fifth or the last of the life cycle is some trophozoites invade the wall of the colon and multiply, causing ulcerative pathology in the colon wall. Some return to the lumen and disintegrate. Mature cysts are passed with feces. Next is the pathogenesis. Infection occurs through the ingestion of cysts, then typically found in contaminated food or water. Once ingested, cysts pass through the stomach and into the small intestine, where they release the trophozoite form of the parasite. Trophozoites colonize the large intestine, primarily the colon, where they attach them to the mucosal lining and feed on intestinal contents. Colonization can lead to tissue damage, inflammation, and ulceration in the intestinal mucosa. So here is the clinical features. The person experiences abdominal pain, diarrhea and dysentery, fever, nausea, and vomiting. So dysentery, it is blood in the stool. Immunity. There's currently no vaccine available for Balantidium coli infection. However, good hygiene practices can help prevent its spread. Diagnosis, we have two: the stool examination and stool culture. Stool examination, where microscopic examination of stool sample is the primary method for diagnosing Balantidium coli infection, and stool culture, stool samples are cultured in specific media that support the growth of the parasite, allowing for its identification. We have three medications to be used for the treatment. These are tetracycline, metronidazole, and iodiquinol. Lastly, the prevention and control. Balantidium coli can be prevented when traveling by following a good hygiene practices. Wash hands frequently with soap and water after using the toilet, changing diaper before and after handling food. Teach children the importance of washing hands for at least 20 seconds to prevent infection. And that's all. Thank you so much.